Hello, everybody. It's Stephen and Walter here for another episode of So Chatty, episode 67 for July the 15th. And this happens to be our wedding anniversary today. How many years, Walter?
17.
Oh, good. But you knew that because I told you earlier because you asked. Do you remember what year we got married?
2005.
Well, very good. I also reminded you of that.
No, I knew
Is
that.
it garbage day? No. So
The
remember
day
that?
after your birthday.
Yes. Which was something we will talk about. Yes. Um, so anyways, yeah. Walter's projects. Big question mark, because I don't think there's much, if anything.
No, I haven't done any sewing this
Haven't done
week.
any sewing. You've been busy doing other things. Busy getting my car fixed up because I had to have a new battery put in it. I'm telling you, it's well worth the membership for CAA because rather than going to Crappy Tire, buying a battery and having Walter try to figure out how to put it in the car, which he figured he could probably do, but would be a pain in the butt because these things are never easy, you
Yeah,
know.
it looks easy, but
So I called up CAA because we got this membership, should use it. And my God, they're efficient. I went through an automated person on there, answered their questions, told me that there would be somebody here at the house in 32 minutes and that they would text me about the progress and also text me, or I'd get a phone call from them 5 minutes when they were 5 minutes away. Well, that bang on. I mean, they were bang on the time. I don't know how they did that, but and the two guys that came, they were very helpful. They popped the old one out, popped the new one in, and also recommended some little device for us to get because I don't drive my car, and that's why the battery keeps running down, and it wasn't holding its charge.
well, you drive it once in a while.
Yeah, I drive it once a month to go get my hair cut, and that's not that far away. It's like 5 kilometers away or something, but yeah, so he recommended that we purchase something called a battery tender. You can get those at Crappy Tire, Canadian Tire, for those of you that are Americans. We call it Crappy
You can
Tire.
buy them on Amazon too.
Yeah, you can get them anywhere. Basically, they are a battery charger, but you leave it on if you're not going to drive your car for long periods of time, and it just keeps the battery in optimal
Conditioned.
condition. And the guy from CAA said to me that if I let the battery like sit and not get recharged in that, and then it wouldn't hold its charge anymore, it wouldn't be covered by their warranty because that's considered abuse. So that's why he recommended this, because I said to him, no, it goes out maybe once or twice a month. So yeah, so we went over to Crappy Tire and we picked up one of these little devices, and Walter has now studied the instruction manual. And so we'll get that put on later on. I just have to remember to take it off when I drive out of the garage, or I may be looking and my battery will be
Well,
there on
probably a
4.
good thing is to keep the hood up and stuff like that, because then that would remind you that the
Yeah, I
thing
suppose.
is on.
Well, I was going to make myself a great big huge sign and hang it on my rear view mirror. So like I wouldn't be able to miss it if I got in the car that, oh, look at that. Yeah, forgot to do that. But anyways, that has nothing to do with sewing and quilting, of course, but just everyday life. So what have I been working on? Well, I finished the Christmas wreath. Will I make another one? Probably not. Too many little bitty pieces, like 2-inch, 2¼ inch squares on this sucker. Did it with that tiny twister tool. Um, yeah, the end result was okay. I added the bow, and in case I ever needed to wash it, which I probably won't because this is a wall hanging, not a quilt really. I can just unpin the safety pin from the back and wash it and then put the bow back on. But not an original idea to me because I saw this, or it was at when I bought the pattern at Worth of Quilting. That's what they told me they did. So I thought, oh, that's a good idea. As you can see, I quilted it on Lucy and did this sort of poinsettia thing, which I think turned out quite nice on it because there's a lot of negative space on this one as well. So, yep, did that, got that finished. And this is the beginning of a Christmas quilt. It is a pattern that's in the book that I reviewed this earlier this week on the Idiot Quilter from Sherry McConnell and her daughter Chelsea Stratton, who do Quilting Life on YouTube. And these aren't per se like most of them are Christmas fabrics, but the colored parts here, they're actually Fairy Frost. I think they're called Fairy Frost from Robert Miller and Michael Miller. Was it Michael Miller or Robert Miller?
Michael Miller.
Michael Miller Fabrics. I've had this fat quarter bundle for ages, and I thought, yeah, I like the colors in it, and I'm going to do it, and I've got more colors that are going to go in this too. So strictly speaking, it isn't completely a Christmas quilt with these fabrics, but because these fabrics have
the background,
yeah, it's Christmassy.
It's Christmassy. It's got candy.
Yeah, and stuff like that. So yeah, it is a Christmas quilt. But I mean, you know, Christmas quilts scream Christmas right in your face when you look at it. This won't scream that. So it'll scream
It's
bright colors.
subtle Christmas.
Yeah, subtle Christmas, whatever. But this is something I'm going to be working on this weekend, tomorrow, for Pop-Up Sew Day. We'll come to that in a minute. Yeah, so those are the things I've been working on. So, some reminders. International Stitch Marathon, July 22nd, 1 week from today, all day, all night. Well, not quite all night, but it'll seem like that. 12 hours of fun. I'm trying not to be facetious about this. I have some reservations, but they may be unfounded. So I'm sure everything will work out fine. I'm a co-host, but that's about all I am in it. I'm hoping I get some sewing done too. And it starts in Eastern Standard Time at 11 a.m. in the morning and runs to 11 p.m. that night. And I am not going to be there for the full 12 hours because I'm not going to be someone at 11 o'clock at night because that's eaten into my wine time on a Friday night. But other co-hosts will be there too, and several of them are sticking around for the 12 hours. There are going to be some games because I was put in charge of that. Again, I should reserve my judgment on all of this before it happens because that might turn people off. And, well, I'm going, you got to go too. Just the way it is. And I don't know what else is planned for it. I really don't. Haven't heard a heck of a lot more. I have a feeling there isn't anything else planned. I think the games might be the only thing. But it's a great opportunity if you've got time, if you can do it on a Friday, because it's on a Friday. You know, sort of like a craft and chat. Although I'm not the principal organizer of this, so that's why I hesitate to tell you much, because I don't know. Well, you know what I know. Okay. So anyways, yep, if you're around, you want something to do on a Friday, drop in for a little while, stay for the whole thing, up to you, whenever. And you can figure out the time zones yourself from that. All the information's in the show notes, so you can check that, and including the Zoom link. It is a Zoom. So, but what is something I can give you more details about is I'm having a pop-up sew/craft day tomorrow, July the 16th, Saturday, July the 16th, starting at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, running till approximately 4, maybe 5 o'clock in the afternoon, unless, as I've always told you, if I get bored, I will leave sooner. But that never seems to happen. The link for the Zoom Pop-Up Sew Day is in the show notes below. I also sent it out earlier this week to those of you that are on my mailing list. There was one person who would know that she is on the mailing list, but for some reason it kept bouncing back to me. So I said it couldn't find that email address. So somehow maybe I copied it down wrong or whatever. So I don't want to say this person's name because they may not want me to say it on here. But if you didn't get one and you're pretty sure you're on the Pop-Up Sew and Craft date, then I apologize for that. Something went terribly wrong and I don't know what it is, and you can mention it to me at another time and I'll try and get the problem solved if it is a problem. Okay, so that's tomorrow, July 16th, starting at 8 a.m. You don't have to be there at 8 a.m. You can come and go as you please. It's all up to you. Walter won't be there at 8 a.m. if at all. But anyways, be a great opportunity for you to just concentrate on some of your projects that you have
I know.
You know, like your shorts.
My shorts, and I've got a bunch of shirts I can do too. All right.
I'm running low.
Yeah.
Okay, so there are some new videos on the channel you may or may not have already seen. I have an interview up this week with Kris O'Neill. Kris O'Neill is the creator of the YouTube channel called Sew the Distance. Really good interview. She's many of you have commented about how great she is as an interviewee, because she is very, very much a natural in that. And her YouTube channel is excellent, very professionally done. Lots of information there on all kinds of things. So if you haven't checked out Sew the Distance, sew as in sew with a needle and a thread, SEW. I hate it. People are always changing the word SO to be cute on things and putting in the word SEW. And you see that so often. After a while, you start to write something to somebody and you're supposed to use the 2-letter so, and you end up putting so EW in it. Enough cutesy. Let's get over ourselves, shall we, with the cutesy? I think so. You still don't see Walter being cutesy. Nothing cute about him whatsoever. No. I jest.
Used to be cute.
Well, you still have your moments, but we're not getting into that. Okay, so speaking of Walter, my birthday. Okay, so it was my birthday yesterday. I had to think about it. Yes, I turned officially. I'm a senior citizen.
See, you're beginning to lose your mind.
Who are you? What are we doing? Why are we here? I don't know. I still enjoy walking into a room and not knowing why I'm there. It adds mystery to your life, keeps things exciting. You know, you forget people's names, meet them again, new people, whole new party. But anyways, yes, so we were supposed to be going out for dinner. I had the reservation made and everything for it. But my sister kind of suggested that, well, we've been looking to get together family-wise and go out for dinner. And she said Wednesday night was a good night for that. So
For them.
For them. And I mean, I could have kept the reservation. We could have gone out 2 nights in a row, but I really thought that was just a little bit much because I've been kind of looking forward to going to this particular restaurant. It's one of our favorites. We haven't been to it since pre-COVID and the whole bit. It's a steakhouse place called The Keg. And I thought it would be anticlimactic to do that. So we went out for dinner with my sister and the kids and her husband. And it was fine. It was fine. It was, yeah, it was fine. So we're saving going out to the Keg for maybe next week sometime we'll go or whatever. Not a biggie. But we did go out anyways last night for dinner. Actually, we are truly senior. Well, I'm truly a senior citizen. He's still got a year to go because we went for dinner at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Well, the only reason I suggested that was that the place that we go to gets really, really busy and a little later, and it's sometimes hard to get a table and stuff like that.
And they have a great outdoor
and they have a really nice patio. So I said, well, why don't we go a little bit earlier and then we'll get a decent seat.
Yeah.
And sure enough, by the time we were done our dinner and everything else,
they were lined up.
They were lined up, and it was kind of a zoo. So,
and we had what they call the place is called the Courtyard, and we had the Courtyard curry because they make really good curry. It's fairly spicy. They always warn you when you order it. Have you had the curry before? I would go, yes, we know it's hot. It's okay. We've had it many times before. And mind you, you're probably still having curry effect.
Yeah, I usually don't get it because it causes me a problem the next day. But yeah, it's still it's not as bad as it sometimes is.
Can you say bathroom conversion to the Black Hole of Calcutta? Yeah, pretty much. Doesn't really affect me like that, but it does affect Walter that way. So
I mean, I like the taste of it and everything else, but it sometimes disagrees with me. So
yeah, and sometimes it can be, well, if you know the expression, a double burner. So we won't go any further with that. Anyways, yeah, it was okay. We went out there. Then we came home and polished off 2 bottles of wine. Well, actually, a bottle and a half, better than what was in the fridge. And then I woke up at about 3 o'clock this morning. He wasn't in bed yet. And I was coughing.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt very uncomfortable. I actually was having a little bit of a panic attack. And I don't know what that was all about. Of course, first thing comes out of Walter's mouth, COVID. No, I'm fine now. So I don't know, just one of those things, I guess. Whatever. But I'm fine now. If I drop dead before this is over, you'll know I'm lied. Okay, so Walter got me some birthday presents. And I'll show you what he got me. He wasn't supposed to get me anything. but he went into Ultimate Sewing and Shirley sucked him in. So he bought me a box of Floriani.
That's the part that I got sucked in.
What, the threads?
The threads.
Okay.
The other one is what I went in for.
Yeah, this is the RE28B hoop for my embroidery machine. Walter has this hoop already, which I've just been sort of borrowing on a permanent basis. So he has one now. I have my own with it. So they're nice. And those hoops are not cheap. I can tell you that from Janome.
Well, it doesn't matter. I bought a knockoff hoop from another company, and it looks pretty much the same as the Janome. Is the color's a little different, but it was just as expensive as the Janome one. So,
and the knockoff I was using, it works fine. In fact, I didn't realize it was a knockoff until you told me it was a knockoff.
I wouldn't doubt that. I wouldn't doubt that the manufacturer of that hoop is actually the one that supplies Janome with their hoops.
Probably it is. But anyways, he also got me this box of 12 variegated threads. These are cotton by Floriani. I'll probably be using them to do quilting with, because I was looking at variegated threads when we were up at Kawartha Quilting one time, and variegated threads tend to be a little bit pricier than the regular threads for quilting. And yeah, so I held back on it because I don't use them that often, but I especially like them when you're doing something around that's seasonal, like Christmas one. Actually, you can't tell in that picture, shows you the wreath, but I used a variegated red, gold, and green thread in it. So anyways, I have those. I always like thread, and it came with a little thing of with some 5 top stitch needles. So what are they implying by putting in top stitch needles? That this is supposedly
you use it as top
decorative
stitching, decorative stitching.
So you could do a decorative stitching.
Something, yeah.
And I'm sure I could use them in my embroidery machine as well with it. The only problem is with using a variegated thread in an embroidery machine, you have to really be selective about the design you're going to use them with, because there's so many layers of thread. You really won't necessarily get the effect of the variegation in it, depending. So, but anyways, yes, that was a very nice surprise. And he got me an insulting birthday card as well, which I would expect no less.
Wasn't that?
Well, it wasn't what? It had some lady on it that's upstairs. I can't show it. Should have brought it down.
She had 2 great big ice cream cones,
which is our major foods group right now that we're eating, because Walter got himself an ice cream maker. And so yes, last night's flavor was rum and raisin. He doesn't like raisins. Here's his reason: they're too plump and juicy.
I have an aversion to them, and at one point in time I did have a little bit of an allergy against them. So
well, apparently you're over that, because
know.
He soaked his raisins in rum, because he's making rum and raisin ice cream, and they plumped up real good. Soaked up the booze real good, mixed it in the ice cream, and I'm curious to try the ice cream today now, because yesterday we had it and it had just come out of the ice cream maker, so it was a little more like soft serve. And I asked for a little whipped cream on top of mine, because I like a little whipped cream, and so Walter sprayed half a bottle. That might have been why I was having a problem last night.
Well, not to mention that there's a lot of cream in the ice cream.
Yeah, very creamy, very creamy. Anyways, it tasted good, but it wasn't that rummy.
No,
didn't think.
Well, it did call for dark rum, and all I had was amber rum,
But it might be one of those things too. They have to sit.
Yeah,
it might give. Well, we'll see. But it still was okay. It's good.
Tasted more like vanilla ice cream with raisins in it.
And then there was some rum left in the little jar that Walter had the raisins soaking in. He decided to drink that too. So
there's only a little bit.
Can we say, do we have a problem? Oh. Do we need an intervention? I don't know. But Walter's trying to create flavors of ice cream that you just can't buy in the grocery store. So we're trying to come up with different ideas.
Why make it if you can get it store-bought stuff? Why bother making it, type of thing?
Yeah, well,
other than the fact that you end up getting more additives in the store-bought stuff. But.
So we were trying to come up with some creative flavors. I did suggest cranberries or cran raisins. You know those cran raisins? Soak those in something like amaretto and throw those in. That might be very tasty. And then we're talking about banana ice cream and pumpkin ice cream and things like that. So there is much experimentation yet to be done. We may have to buy another small chest freezer just to keep ice cream in. Okay, we out in the front lawn selling ice cream to the neighborhood out
Better be
there.
careful too. Might put a ton of weight on it.
Yeah, it's too late. I haven't lost the COVID 50,000 pounds out of that. I'm old.
Yeah, we know that.
I don't have many years left. Let me enjoy myself.
Yeah, well.
Yeah. Whatever. So, yeah, how we got on ice cream, I don't remember. Oh, because birthday gifts and all that kind of stuff. Somebody asked if Walter was making me a birthday pie, because you know pie is one
I
of my
have
favorite
thought of
food.
it. I have the stuff in the freezer or fridge to make it, but
He made a pie last week.
yeah, I can make a pie at some point. I didn't make it for your birthday though.
No, I know. Well, it's too late. My birthday's
Yeah.
over. So, of course, some people have suggested to me it's birthday week or birthday month. So, I don't know about that. So we popped up to Kawartha Quilting today for a very specific reason, which I'll come to in a moment. But of course, when I'm up there, you always have to buy a few things. But we were up there earlier in the week too. So I'm going to show you what I bought this week at Kawartha Quilting. So they had all their Christmas fabric out on Tuesday. So I had to have some Christmas fabric. So I bought 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I bought 14 meters because I got 2 meters of each of these of Christmas fabric. It was on sale for 20% off. Still went ka-ching, ka-ching. They didn't really have a lot that was really grabbing my interest. You know, I tend to stay away from novelty kind of stuff. Like I could have got some Grinch and stuff like that, but no, I like things that are a little bit more traditional when it comes to Christmas fabrics. Although I did pick up these two bluey colored ones, to see what I can do with them. And this white one, that's the one that you're seeing as background in the quilt that I'm making. But it's in blue as well, and I'm using that in pack quilt I showed you. But anyways, supposedly Ultimate Sewing's going to have a big garage sale next week to make room for their Christmas and Halloween fabrics. Those will come out, I guess, in August. So by then I'll be ready for some more, so I'll have to go and get it. And speaking of Halloween, I did buy some Halloween stuff as well. And then I found some of my other stuff that was left over from last year. So I kind of like these. I thought they were kind of fun. Now I just got done saying I'm not into novelty fabrics. So what do I buy? Novelty. But you know, Halloween lends itself to that, really. I suppose you could say that with Christmas too, to a certain extent. But yeah, I don't know what I'm doing with these yet. I bought them. They were cute. So, and then, well, I guess I don't have a picture of that. No, I didn't take a picture of that. I'll have to show them. Where's my button? I'll have to show this to you live and in person. I bought a jelly roll because I got this pattern that I was going to do with, you know, strips, extra jelly roll strips, you know, orphan ones, because I want to make that quilt. Now that's not a Christmas quilt, but I thought with, you know, a strip roll, a jelly roll in Christmas fabrics, it could make a really quick and nice little Christmas quilt. So that's what I'm going to do. And this is what I bought. I hate trying to unwrap jelly rolls because when you unwrap them, you can't get them wrapped up again. So this is what I got. And because this one is kind of a scrappy kind of effect, it won't matter what order I put these in. And so they'll all look good together because they come from one jelly roll, so they're all coordinated. And I think this was a Michael Miller. No, this might have been a Kaufman. I think this is a Kaufman set. Anyways, another Christmas project. Yeah. Reach behind. Okay, so the other reason why we went up to Kawartha Quilting earlier today was, guess what? My Accuquilt broke. Yeah, my cutter, my big expensive $1,000 cutter broke. Why did it break, you may ask? Well, it has an adapter plug, right? Like so many things do.
Yeah, it's an electric one, right?
Yeah, it's not a crank. It's an electric one. And you know, you got your standard power block with the thing that you plug into the side of the machine. Now, of course, it's one of those little adapter plugs, you know, that basically is a tube with a hole in it. And inside the machine at the edge where you plug it in is a little pin, and the pin goes in the hole and away you go. Well, right from day one when I got that machine, it was kind of hard to get the pin to go into the hole. I'm trying not to do, trying to get the pin in. Okay, the hole. You get the point, right? Okay, so Chatty just went down the filthy track. So, and it was tight. Okay, this just gets worse. The hole was very tight. There's no other way to describe it. So I had to slightly screw it to try and get it in. And it was putting up a lot of resistance. And I thought to myself, wait, this isn't right. This should not be that tight, really. But I thought, like with so many things, it'll loosen up with time. This is really getting bad. They're going to X-rate this. I'll be demonetized on this one. Anyways, remember, we are talking about electrical parts here, okay? So get your little minds out of the gutter. Come back up on the curb with me. So, and it has never loosened up. So every time that I get out the machine and plug that in, well, actually, what I was doing was I was leaving it plugged in because I've rigged it all up so that I can just pull it up from underneath my cutting table, spread it open, push the on button, away we go. But it wouldn't always make a connection. And I don't know. So I had to fool around, giving it a little wiggle here, a little wiggle there, tease it a little bit, and then it would come on. Now I'm still thinking to myself, this is bad. I should really tell Zach at Worth Quilting that I'm having this problem so he would know. But I never got around to it until yesterday. Yesterday? Day before. I'm having the same problem with it. I gave it a little twist, and suddenly I hear pop. And my little pin dropped inside the machine. It busted off inside the solder parts, probably. Now, I thought, well, I could take the screws out of the bottom, maybe fix it myself. Then I thought, no, I haven't had it that long. It's still under warranty. But I'm thinking, oh, great. I'm going to be without my Accuquilt. It's funny, never had one before, didn't miss it. Now that I have it, I miss it. I use it a great deal. So I wrote an email to Zach about it and said, this is what's happening. Told him exactly what I've told you now. And I said, what can we do about this? I'm figuring he'll say, well, bring it in. I'll ship it back down to Accuquilt and they'll fix it and ship it back up. And I'm thinking, yeah, I'm not going to see it for half a year or more if I do that. In fact, to the point where I figured that's the way it was going to go, that I kind of thought, I may just buy a second one, but I'll buy a cheaper model, the lesser one. I won't get one with a motor. I'll just get a crank, and that'll do me for the months that this one's away. They're still, with the crank on them, they're not cheap, okay? But that's what I'm thinking. I even thought of asking Zach, hey, got a loaner? But no. Zach said, rate bang. He says, bring it in. He says, I'll take a look at it. But he says, and if I can't fix it, if he says or whatever, he says I'll just give you a new one. It's still under warranty. Wow. So I said, well, thank you very much. I said I can bring it in on Friday at noon if that's okay with you. And he said sure. So that's when in the meantime I bought that jelly roll, right? I bought it online. I always go up to pick it up. So off we went, and we went in, and there was Zach. And he put it right up on a table. He looked at it and he said, yep. And I showed him, I took the power thing in and I showed him, I sent him pictures actually, showing him the problem too. And he knew what I was talking about. He opens her up and goes, yeah, nope, that pin's right off the circuit board. In other words, it would have to be, soldered back on properly and all that kind of stuff. And I says, do you want it? Meanwhile, one of the people that works there, came right over. She got the new one right in her hand. Right there, ready to go. So he says, do you want to try the power thing on this one just to see, like with my original one? Went in like a charm, the way it's supposed to. So I wasn't crazy. I guess I should have said something right off the bat, kind of a thing. But again, customer service second to none at Quilting. They are excellent. You know, it would have been so easy for Zach to say, well, okay, it's under warranty, but I'll have to send it back to Accuquilt and all that kind of stuff. Accuquilt as a company, from what I'm reading online, do not have a good reputation for customer service. So that was the other thing I was dreading. Um, I mean, I was kind of hoping inside myself that he would say, oh, no problem, I'll just replace it with a new one. But he did. I didn't ask for that because I thought that might be pushing it, you know. But no, didn't have to ask. He told me that's what he was going to do, and he did. So excellent, excellent service. Now, while we were there and we were talking to Zach, I mentioned to him that I've had several of you mention to me that, do you have somewhere to go?
No.
Well, you see, if you'd had something to show people, you could have talked too. That's your penance. You just be quiet and listen to me. Yeah, you just do that.
Wolf.
Good boy. Good boy. Fifi. I think I'll start calling you Fifi. Anyways, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah. So I said to Zach, I've had some of the people that subscribe to me have heard about your store and everything like that. And they've asked me when I'm going up there if I would do like a video showing the inside of the store and things like that. And I get a little, like, I don't like to do that if there's other customers in the store because, you know, other people get uptight and I sort of don't want to hear myself talking when there's other people in the store. So I mentioned to Zach, I said, you know, would you be agreeable to, I could come up here one day, we'll make a time, date for that. I come up, you take me around on a tour of the store and things like that. And I talk to you too about the business, about how you got into this. And it's a family owned business. So some background on that. And then I can put that up on one of my episodes on YouTube. He said, sure. Sounds like a great idea. And he also said that there is probably a promotional code that I can link into or something that for people, you know, who see that video, they can get a certain percentage off, probably like something like 15% or something like that. But so I have to sit down and think about exactly what it is I want to do, give him, you know, probably a list of questions and talk about the whole procedure and get his input into that. And then away we go. So, yeah. I should speak to Shirley about doing something similar with Ultimate Sewing as well, as I'm sure she would be agreeable to something like that as well. So, you know, I can do my two favorite stores in my area for that. So that's down the road. Don't know when, but it's down the road. Hoping to do it probably fairly soon. Okay, one more thing. Somebody surprised me. I get this message on my phone saying that I have a gift certificate for $25 from Quilter Quilting. Now I'm thinking, is this legit? Because I get things all the time in my email, you know, you've won, congratulations. But I clicked on the link in my phone and it took me right to the Quilter Quilting site and the whole bit. They have a chat mode on their site as well. And so I decided I would just check this out to make sure this was legit. Because I didn't know who sent it to me. So I asked, and I happened to get Zach in the chat, and I said, is this legit? He says, yep, it's legit. So I used that money, actually, thank you to whoever, to pay partly for that jelly roll. So that was a very unexpected and a very nice gift. By no means, there is no obligation to send me things, like as if you thought there was. But it was just so nice. So I really wanted to reach out to the person and thank them for this. So I said to Zach, can you tell me who it was? I said, do you know who it was? He says, yes, I do. And I said, can you tell me who they are? No, I can't. They don't want me to tell you. I said, well, are they in the area? No. Are they from out west? No. Are they in the Ottawa area? I'm thinking of a few people that I know are kind of like this, would do this kind of thing. No. Are they American? No. I didn't think. He wasn't giving me any information. So whoever you are.
Do they live on this planet?
Yeah. Whoever you are that gave me that gift certificate, I want you to know that that was a really nice surprise. Thank you so much. I really wish I knew who it was because I'd really like to send you a thank you note. So for now, since you want to stay anonymous and I can't get Zach to talk, I should take up beer next time. Yeah, that'll loosen his tongue. But so Zach's keeping your secret. But thank you so much for that. And here's something that's really weird. We ordered Chinese food on Monday night. No, Sunday night. Sunday night we got Chinese food, and I opened up the fortune cookie, and the fortune cookie said, "You are going to receive a gift from an unknown source." Who says fortune cookies don't come true? So there you go. And I'm not kidding about that. That's what it said. Remember? Yeah, right?
Yeah.
You can verify. Yeah. All right. So, anyways, thank you so much again for that. That was very, very nice of you to think of me. Okay, so that's about all we have for today. So just again, tomorrow, pop-up sew/craft day for those of you that can make it and wish to. Starting at 8 a.m. Come or go at any time you wish. However, bring your project along and we'll have a good time. And the link for that is in the show notes below. Okay, I think that's all we have to tell you. So watch us on Sunday afternoon for Stephen and Walter Live starting at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, I hope you have a great week. Go out, sew something fun for yourself. Maybe next week we'll get Walter to spew forth more on whatever. I think he's on over from the raisins.
No.
Oh, yeah. What? Okay. Say goodbye, Walter.
Goodbye.
Bye.